Next one, how do I know my child is really transgender and not just confused? Your kid's experience is going to be their individual experience. And I will say that they're maybe just questioning, or they have questions, right? And like maybe they're just in the questioning spot, and that's where you're kind of thinking the word confused, right? I would recommend getting like a therapist that knows about gender expression, where they might be able to hear other people's experiences and say, you know, does this resonating with me in any way, or is this like not quite what I'm thinking about myself, and this might not be the right path for me?
They say the insistence, persistence, and consistence in this. So if they are insistent that they are transgender, but if they keep coming to you saying, I'm a boy, if they are consistent, it does not waver, it does not change. They are always what they say they are, and they are insistent on it. They are telling you that they understand who they are, and this is what they are. Also, typically, the concept of gender constancy is usually solidified around age 5 or 6. Gender constancy can be like represented as like, you know, maybe in preschool or something. If one of your child's classmates came to preschool in a tutu, your child might think, oh, haha, you're wearing a tutu, you're a girl, even though yesterday they were a boy. But just because that boy's in a tutu and this child thinks tutus are for girls, around 5 or 6, your child would understand, oh, haha, you're a boy in a tutu. You know, you're not a girl now because you're wearing a tutu. You're a boy. Right. So
that's interesting.
Yeah. So around 5 or 6, they probably have a good understanding of who they are if they have the language for it. Some, you know, if you're teaching your child that people can't, like, boys can't be girls and girls can't be boys, or like, you know, if you've introduced them to language that like boys don't play with Barbies, if that's how you're raising them, and they wouldn't have the language to know that, and in that case, you might end up confusing them. And they might end up coming out to you a little bit later in life when they have this kind of language.
That's what happened. Yeah, that's what happened with me as well.
Yeah.
And I feel like most like families that are a little more conservative, you know, that's not really like something that they, you know, talk about in their house.
That also might lead some conservative parents to think that it's a phase because you were never like this when you were a kid, but it was only because you didn't provide them with the language that they needed to explain themselves to you.
Or you saw it and you were a little nervous about it and you kind of tried to push the other direction, even if you were coming from a place of trying to protect them from that kind of a life, and it didn't quite work out.
Yeah, agreed.